So which was that defining moment in your life where you decided that, this is it? This is where I will be changing the narrative of my own story. I'll take the charge now. So what was that moment for you?
Men are sent to job and to earn so that they get married. Women are sent to college to study so that they get married. It's like my father and mother are seeing me successful. How can I prove my father and mother that I am successful? The only way is by giving them that hope that I am doing well. I do my job well because I love what I do. And I'm not doing it for you, I'm not doing it for my children, I'm doing it for me. Okay, you don't blame parents, husband, friends, situation, environment, it's you lazy, that's all.
Hello and welcome everyone to the latest episode of IRE Talks podcast powered by GIBS Business School. Today we will be exploring the inspiring story of Ms. Meena Chabbria, founder, Shiro Mindset program and VP PVR Cinemas, whose strategic vision and leadership contribute to the success and expansion of India's leading cinema houses. This is IRE Talks powered by GIBS Business School, episode 2, where innovation meets inspiration. And I am Philip Bansal, your host for the evening, and I promise you this is going to be a power-packed episode with lots of laughs, a dash of wow moments and much more. Hi Meena, welcome to IRE Talks podcast.
Hello.
And your career journey has been a true inspiration for all of us. But before we delve into your early life and your career journey, I'm sure our audience would love to know what it is to be at such a high position, the VP of one of the India's leading cinema houses, the spotlight, the glamour that comes with it, the meetings with people we all dream of seeing. And how does that feel to be the Meena Chabbria?
Very scared. The reason I say scared is because, there are certain people who reach a certain level, in that case me, like you just mentioned, glamorous, you're there on the top and it's, in the place where you all want to be, and when you're not there, then what happens is you don't know how to deal with that person. There are certain people who deal with it in a very positive way. There are certain set of people who always try to pull you down in a negative way. So I'm always in that fear that what next is going to come to be a surprise. Yeah, that's how I deal with, but I'm blessed beyond because with all the things going on, my earlier boss Shamak Hadawar, he gave me a beautiful story. He said that when there is fear, that means you're 100% at your work. So I know that the universe has given me beyond, so I need to be always fearful, and I always need to be clear on how I want to take it forward.
That's great. And you're so many things. You're a VP, you're an author, you're a founder, and then you're also a mother. There's so much that you do. How do you manage all of it?
So I authored a book called Unstoppable, and I finished doing that. So the story is over. And to become a coach, it was important for me to have this authoritative name, and that's what the book helped me. Coach is my calling. Like, I only want to be a coach for life, because what I got in PVR through Gautam, my boss, or Shalu, my immediate reporting boss, is that how to be with people. And when I learned this, and I've been with PVR for 15 years, I wanted to pass on this to someone, and hence the learning. Mother is the easiest role because both my kids are at a certain age where they don't need me. They're 21 and 23. Other than what I need them, they don't need me, so it's all fine for now.
And like most of us, even you come from a very ordinary family, a middle class family from Chennai. So how was your early life? How was your childhood, your hometown? What do you remember of it now?
Yeah. So I would not call it an ordinary life. I would call it an extraordinary vision from my father, because only people who have extraordinary vision can make an ordinary person extraordinary. So my father was running a tailoring unit, and then we had a very, very beautiful, most precious childhood we ever had. And I was born and brought up in Coimbatore. Chennai is because of my wedding, and had a beautiful teenage, young age, whatever you call. And yes, I'm now in Chennai.
And when I and my team, we were looking through the profile and everything, so we did come across that you were married at a very young age.
Yeah.
So did you have an opinion at that time that, this is too soon, or, I don't want to do it? And how did that turn out in your life? Like, what learnings did you have moving forward?
So yeah, I got married when I was very young, and I had children also very young. I didn't have an opinion back then, because even now I believe if my father would have been there and would have showed me a guy and said he's a good guy, marry him, I would have, and would be marrying him if in case that my mother comes and tells me this is the right thing. We come from the old school where parents' decision is most important in your life, and I, being a parent, I understand what my parents have gone through, so I respect that. It didn't work out, but what worked out beautifully is that though we as couples are separated, at a very young age of marriage, our parentship never got separated. We are parents for our children. We are committed to our children. Today we see a lot of actors like Arbaz Khan or Malaika Arora and all these people, Suzanne Khan and Hrithik Roshan, getting into parenting together. I did this back then. It was not a surprise for me or surprise for the people. When two people get into relationships so beautifully, then why exit with a dirty spot? Why don't we clean our own linens? And that's what me and my ex-husband did. We beautifully parted. We meet up quite often for coffee or thing. We have conversations. Love was missing, which is fine, but everything else is intact. And it's not necessary that every relationship should be working under a floral thing. No, it's not.
So I think this is where they say that, all the relationships, they are mostly companionship, friendship, that is the main element. And everything after that is, the process or the byproduct that comes with it. So which was that defining moment in your life where you decided that, this is it? This is where I will be changing the narrative of my own story. I'll take the charge now. So what was that moment for you?
My value mapping, there were certain things which I was not ready to compromise, and I think my hunger to see my children succeed more than me was that moment when I took the charge of my life and my narrative changed for life.
And what was that like? How did you start with it?
So the first thing was, this girl of mine, she was crying one day and she was hardly 3 years, and my second son was 1, and my belly was out, and I was at the age of 20 looking like an auntie of 35 years old, exhausted. I didn't know how to deal with him. My mother-in-law had passed away recently, and it was very, very difficult for me. And I started crying because they both were crying and I didn't know what to do. I started crying together with them, because that's the knowledge as a 20-year girl you'll have. You don't know what to do, you come and cry. Here it was not my parents but my 2 children. And then I felt that I saw my daughter crying and I was like, is she also going to be like me when she's going to be 20, a mother, and not so successful in the wedding, and then I have a younger son and I don't know how to deal with life. And that moment of realization changed the entire story for me.
I won't lie, I have goosebumps when I hear to it, because that's a very, very young age where, it's, I don't have words for that experience, what you went through.
Yeah.
And then, when you change the narrative altogether, so now when you look back, what, would you say to that younger Meena?
Proud of yourself that you went through a lot. But would I be able to say this after 20 years? I don't know. Because right now things are like, that was in a rush. I didn't see anything other than my children, but now I'm seeing everything for me. So the narrative is actually changing now also. So after 20 years, if I and you meet again for IRE talks, which I'm sure is going to be successful.
Definitely.
That time we'll have this question again.
Definitely. So, especially in societies like India, when it comes to women, most of them, they sacrifice their careers and even education at the young age where, you had 2 kids. If any other woman in that position, they think giving up their education or career is going to give them a family life, a successful family life. But you, on the other hand, you've restarted everything, you've built yourself from that moment. So how was that? What were the challenges? I am pretty sure you would have faced a lot of things. Was it difficult compared to if, life would have turned out differently?
No, I think it was not challenging back then, it's challenging now.
Okay.
Now, why it was not challenging back then is because I didn't know anything. I was molding my own life. Now, because I've molded my life, to take it to the next level is challenging. While you say women do not take a call, I think it's foolishness of us and I'm seeing this more nowadays as women. You go and talk to a woman that, what is this, your husband is doing this to you. She knows it. What is this, why are you not studying? She knows it. Why are you not doing? She knows, because I think genetically we are taught, or we are told our genes that girls need to be subtle and easy. I'm not talking about every woman. I'm talking about women who have been conversing with in the last few weeks. They know everything and they do nothing. That's all. They wait कि one blow the nature has to give them, and then they get up and they realize whether it's through divorce or whether through it's some other issue with the husband or with family or a compulsion. Till then they all sit and enjoy. And it's not the case with every woman, but it's the case with most of the women. They will invest on buying a Chanel bag, a Chanel shoe, a Louis Vuitton, a Gucci to show off. But what about your inner self? Why don't you women invest on yourself? Why don't you tell me that you can at least do something for yourself? 40% of India's population of women is still not working. Big alarm to the society that somewhere we are making the girls so cohesive and we are also not letting them be what they are.
So, now that you have talked about this, how did you start it? Like, as you said, there was this one thought that I don't want my daughter to have the same life.
Yeah.
So, what you went through?
I started when I left home, I knew only one thing. I left the home with 2 bags, and the only thing I knew is my children. And I have to do anything for them. And I started as helping an old woman to give her bath for 1 month. After that, I got a job at Shamak Tower, and then from there I knocked to PVR. First of all, each and everybody's starting point is different, but start. I back then never thought I would be a maid to someone, and in future if you ask me, would you feel bad to be a maid? I mean, if someone is paying me 3 crores, like I was reading yesterday, someone's bodyguard is paid 3 crores, I'll go and stand. Yeah, for me that mattered. Money mattered and my job mattered. It never mattered what job. That's the reason why I'm so perturbed that everything in my life is related to PVR. It's just Meena and PVR. Why? I have a personality. I'm an author. I have a coaching program running. So it's a holistic thing, and I'm not going to settle for less. That one thing is clear, that I will be crossing paths and not just one path.
So, I as a youngster, if look at people my age in the same age group, they also don't want to settle, but they are either scared to start, or they are dependent on a lot of things, like let this pass then I'll start, or let this happen to me then I'll start. So with you've already started, but what was the first job or the first stepping stone that made you who you are today, that one professional milestone?
So I think joining PVR would be the first professional milestone, and back then I think rest were all jobs. Inox changed a lot of my perception. PVR gave me that foot to stand and say yes, I'm something. So that is one thing where I started big. And you mentioned that either we delay or we prepone or we think about it. But then why are we studying? Like every guy does study and educate himself and go for job. So you also go for job, that's all. Is it so difficult? It's not. It's just that mindset of you. And the problem with this particular situation is, men are sent to job and to earn so that they get married. Women are sent to college to study so that they get married.
Yes.
So, and what happens? So that bechari, she studies. I think it should be reversed. Yeah, girls should be married to younger boys, because already her maturity is high. The age gap what parents should look is 5 years younger, because she has to have a successful career. So that means she has to find a love for her life who can support her do that dream. While he is being young, he'll support her also. We find older men with older tensions, even a 3-year, 4-year generation gap. And it so also happens that she finishes college and she's ready for the marriage, and once she's ready for the marriage and then she's ready for the child. So where is that space of time you're giving her to get to work? Yeah, you're not giving her that space of time to work, and she's under family compulsion, because all these years you let girls be inside, you never let them out. Protective, night, it's much better, but you've been protective, you're going out, you're not letting our boys do everything. So they have much better opportunities in terms of proving themselves openly in the market where we women don't have. So that has to change first.
That's great. And how did Shiro Mindset, like from the word Shiro, what I understand is a hero and a female.
Yeah.
So that's a Shiro Mindset program. How did that come into existence? Where, what made you start that thing?
So in a realization that I was climbing the wrong stairs for 15 years to be where I want to be, and that was not my calling. And there was nobody to tell me, bro, it's wrong. This is not what you want to do. You want to do something you are good at. You don't want to do something what others are feeling you're good at. That's how Shiro was born, and also because I'm from the cinema fraternity, everybody will call, hero is coming, hero is coming, heroine is coming, heroine is coming. I will be like, why are you guys so subtle about the heroine, and why are you so strong about the hero? And then I thought, I was sitting one day sketching and I just added a S and it became Shiro. I was like, wow, it already has nature by nature that she can be added, but you don't want to add. So I will add it, no problem. So I made it as a Shiro. My podcast I've started, last week was the first one. It's called the CEO. Why CEO? Why commonalize? Because this woman has come out with so many hurdles out. Let her face a bigger opportunities in life, and she being she. The beautiful thing is everybody wants you to be what you are, but you don't let the person be what he or she is.
Very true, yes.
Let her be she, no, it's okay. LGBT, IQT, whatever it's called, they are fighting for rights. I think we women should fight first for our rights of she in every word, yeah.
That's very true. And when it comes to, again, coming back to the previous question, when you started at PVR, today we know you as a successful, inspirational woman, the VP of PVR Cinemas. But there would be that one start, like, the beginning where you joined PVR, and then a 14-year-long journey with the same company. How, if you can just put some light there for us.
First of all, I never feel it's 14 years. Every day I'm so happy that I'm going to the job, and it's just thank you to my bosses Shalu and Gautam. They don't let me feel I'm coming for a job. I'm coming home every day. I have open conversations every day. I don't like certain things. I fight with her. She fights with me. I fight with him. He fights with me. But at the end of the day, we go as thorough professionals. That's something kept me longer and will keep me longer, because this is my way of giving back to him, that when it's like my father and mother are seeing me successful. How can I prove my father and mother that I am successful? The only way is by giving them that hope that I am doing well, and that's what I enjoy.
So what was the first role that you joined in?
I joined as an assistant manager for sales.
Assistant manager for sales, and from there today
VP,
it's VP sales. Okay.
And the least expected. I was not expecting my promotion this year, but I got a promotion. Thank you.
Congratulations on that. And with women, again, when it comes to professional and personal life, everyone has a lot of hurdles. You being a single mother, it must be more difficult for you, managing the kids, managing the family, managing the work, and that too, keeping everything balanced, whether it's about coaching, whether it is PVR, whether it is your own company. So how do you manage all of this? Like, do you ever feel like, no, I need a break? Or is it like you're just there every day? How do you show up every day?
No, I'm there every day, every moment. My kids get tired, I don't get tired. I'm in for 20 meetings in a week. I'm in for doing my coaching work. I'm in for doing my LinkedIn profiling. I'm in for doing my job well. I deliver the numbers very well in PVR. Touch wood, God's been great to me. I do my job well because I love what I do. And I'm not doing it for you. I'm not doing it for my children. I'm doing it for me. And I need this breather of oxygen to keep me alive, and I do it well. Yes, whenever I need a break, I run off to Kedarnath. In the year, if 6 months Kedarnath is open, at least 5-6 times I run off there. Like, I'll randomly go off, so that's my source of energy and my source of calmness and stuff. And also every Sunday I dedicate my time to only learn art and do art. So that gives me a very relaxing effort. And I read a lot of books. So that's like my time, but you'll never see me watching a television without some handcraft, and I will be always, hand and mind will be working and my eyes will be looking.
Oh, that's great. And Unstoppable, the book that you authored, it is your own autobiography. So, an autobiography at such young age, what was it? Whether you wanted to tell the story to the world, everyone has a story within. So, what was the inspiration, or what was the motivation to write your own autobiography? If you can just highlight that.
See, I'll put it into two parts. Part one was what I saw, or I've been in the age till 42, which is last year, is what Unstoppable is all about. It's a girl's journey who wanted to be there. And I wanted to tell all the girls that even if the lorry strikes hard on you, if you lorry tumhare pe pad jaye and all, but if you're positive, you can still come out of it and make your living. And that's what the book was all about. Last year onwards, my second part of life has started, which is the most, like I told you, toughest in front of world, because when you're successful, people like it or don't like it, that's an option. When your kids are successful, then nobody likes it. People don't talk about it, but I am seeing the kind of background effects which is coming. And every day I tell myself that God, please protect the children. I'm lost in this entire phase, but my children can't get to this negativity, this people balance. So, and also something major happened. I transformed my entire body to a different phase, going through a lot of cosmetic procedures recently. So that's really been a big challenge, and I felt that autobiography is complete and people can see me as a different me. But after the autobiography, the second part, which I will rewrite it again, is the most toughest phase of my life, like in part of spiritualism, children, job, career and everything. And how I'm navigating this is something I want to write. So it's not the age, it's the intent, and the intent was right to reach out with positivity, and the intent is also right now to tell the world that I also face what you all face.
That's very well said, Meena. That's very well said. And one question, one personal, and I think our audience would also like to know this from you. You have attended one of the most sought after institutes, whether it's IIM or whether it's UCLA, and that too after you have started your family. So how different was it, or what was your experience when you went back to that student life?
Yeah. So I can tell you about Micah. The only senior citizen was me.
Okay.
Everybody was below 30, and I was in the week one. I was like, oh my God, these guys don't know how are they talking, what are they talking, they don't know basics. Can't they know what is this all about? And then I was like, time to relearn and time to unlearn. That experience of that, bolte no, bhook for learning is the biggest hunger anyone can have. And actually that made me more friends with the younger generation, Gen Z, Gen Z, whatever you call. And life is even better now.
That's great, Meena. So one last thing that I really would request, it's a golden opportunity for people like me, especially, as you said, the younger generation, the Gen Z, to be with you in person, to hear directly from people who have already made it in life. So what would be one message that you would like to give to all our audience who are watching this, young students, young professionals?
Don't let your laziness be the blame for your own life. Okay, you don't blame parents, husband, friends, situation, environment. It's you lazy, that's all. When you're lazy, then please back up that you will face laziness. So just get up and see yourself as a working machine, and don't rot yourself more at home. Start putting yourself out there at any use. Like even the dry leaves is used as manure. When you're in the earth, you are a full-fledged human. Please use yourself.
With that said, I think we have all made our notes. We have all enjoyed thoroughly this very short, very sweet chat. Thank you so much for joining us today, Meena, and making this episode a memorable one. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you enjoyed with us. And please do stay connected on all our social media platforms: Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp communities, Facebook, and YouTube @GIBS School and @GIBS IRE Talks. I, Palak Bansal, would be back with another power-packed episode very soon, very shortly. Stay tuned, stay inspired.